I'm out here just drowning in new fragrance releases so I can test them out and let you guys know if they are worth it or not. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews of brand new, ever increasing fragrance releases, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, can we take a little moment and pause for the cause and take a deep breath for how many fragrance releases there are? There's always a bunch, but I feel like here recently, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm just a hamster. And I've already fallen off the wheel. Like the wheel has rolled down the street and I'm just dodging cars, trying not to get run over by all of the fragrances. So I have 8 here that are new. Still don't have all the new ones. I don't have the new Born in Roma Valentino in front of me to try, and actually have not even smelled it yet. So I can't give you guys my thoughts on that, but I can give you guys my thoughts on these 8 new mainstream releases. So let's go ahead and start with one that I feel is very interesting because of the difference that I found between the travel and the full size. So this is the new Lancôme, the La Vie La Belle Vanille Nude. Now, I had no idea I was going to get this beautiful bottle in PR. And you guys, I'm just going to pop the video of this PR box package of this. I mean, I felt like I was being courted. I was like, I'm already married, okay? But this would help. This would get my attention if some man courted me in the way of this box. It's so beautiful. But I had no idea it was coming until it arrived. So I did purchase the travel myself. And I was already planning on doing this video of, I think I had 4 at the time, and then I kept kind of getting other new ones in. So I waited. I'm glad that I did, because my review of this would have been a bit different. Whenever I spray this travel, it is like I go completely nose blind to it. Now, my very, very first spray of this, very initial spray, I got a lot of the signature OG Belle in the first spray. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the OG. And really quickly, though, I could smell something really beautiful under there. I was like, oh, wait, that's going away. That original DNA is going away. And I'm smelling something so pretty. But I could not, what I keep calling my nose finger, I could not put my nose finger on what I was smelling because it would just disappear. And I do think, as this is set, I've had this now for a week and a half, something like that. I think it is getting stronger, because even whenever I would smell it straight out of the atomizer when I first got it, I couldn't really smell anything. And I kept trying it, and I finally would get just a very subtle, soft whiff of this really pretty kind of bourbon vanilla, but then it would just evaporate. And I thought, I'm either nose blind or like this is watered down or something. And so I was going to tell you guys, don't waste your money. It smells good, but like you can't smell it. Until I got my bottle in, and very first spray out of this, I really didn't get that old school Belle in it. And I got my flower or ribbon, or oh, I'll pick it up in a minute. I got that gorgeous bourbon vanilla, a little bit of a musk going on. This has this really soft, almost suede-like scent to it. Not that it smells like suede, but if this had a texture, it would be this very soft, kind of silky, fuzzy texture to this fragrance. And it is so beautiful and so modern smelling. Not the most original smelling, I will say. I did compare this, wore them side by side, to Nest Bourbon Vanilla, or Vanilla Bourbon, whichever it is, bourbon vanilla or vanilla bourbon, Nest. And in the very beginning opening, I thought, oh, these are really similar. As they dry down, I really think that they are pretty different. The Nest has more of that brown sugar, kind of this crystallized, almost, when I say spicy, I don't mean peppery spicy, but brown sugar can have like this tiny little bite to it. And this is more of that silky smooth, while that is more of like a crystally texture almost of a bourbon vanilla. So I thought, no, they're not the same. But this has such a simplicity to it. I really don't pick up this kind of mystery solar. I think it's really solar jasmine in here. I think on Fragrantica it says solar notes, and I was expecting it to have more of like a sunny aspect to it, and I don't get that at all from this. So this is like sweater weather type of a scent. So that solar part, I'm just eliminating that, and it really just to me is a pretty bourbony vanilla musk that has a suede-like texture to it. That is just the best way I can put it in the most simplistic terms, and I don't think this needs to be complicated. I think the beauty in this is the subtleness and the stripped down of it all. And I also, in my little review I had on Instagram, I compared this a little bit to the Trésor La Nuit by Lancôme. That one's more complicated. That one has lots going on, like rose and chocolate and maybe caramel. It has lots and lots of notes. It's kind of like you took all the fuss out of that fragrance, and what would kind of just be left in the base of it. That's what I'm getting out of the Vanille Nude. I think it's exquisite. I think it's so pretty. I think it's so wearable. I think it's one of those that's appropriate for daytime, nighttime, office, date. Like I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's, in my opinion, the best flanker and so much better than the OG. So, and this performed so well, so well. It was projecting and it was lasting so long on my skin. And like I just said, opening this up again, the travel, it's really strong now. So I think this just needed time, whereas the bottle did not. And I'm so glad that I wasn't too hasty and reviewed it and told you guys, no, I don't like it, because I love this one. Love it. One of my favorite designer fragrances in a long time, even though I know it's not overly complicated. All right, another one that I am really enjoying that I'm glad I've taken a little bit more time with as well is the Nest Creme de Clementine. Now, I had heard people talking about this being a true creamsicle fragrance, and I've often been asked, what is a real creamsicle fragrance? Because the Indomitable by Paris Corner, that a lot of TikTokers were like, oh my gosh, it's a creamsicle. And then I did the review and was like, this is not a creamsicle. That one is so photorealistic, fresh orange peel, not a creamsicle. There is nothing creamy about that whatsoever. I was asked what is one, and Demeter Fragrances has an actual creamsicle fragrance that is spot on. And I think it smells really similar to this, although that fragrance lasts about an hour, 2 hours, honestly. This is longer lasting, but I will say the creamsicle of this at the top is only about another hour or two. And then it goes into more of this kind of soft, musky wood fragrance with still like a little bit of cream, but the orange disappears from it. So it's as if the outer shell, I really get a lot in the opening, that outer shell of a creamsicle, that candied orange shell. And then as it warms up on the skin, you get more of that like inner cream that's in it. And then I'd say after about 2 hours, it's like that orange outer shell has melted off, and you're just kind of getting the cream and like what's warmed up as a musk, a natural musk on the skin, maybe slightly woody as well, not overly so. So I think it's beautiful. I kind of just wish that it maintained the creamsicle all the way throughout, because it is something I'm asked about so much, of what is a true creamsicle fragrance. This one is, it's just that that creamsicle wears off after a while. But I think it's really, really pretty. It has an ability to be fresh and also kind of cozy at the same time. I think it's a perfect transition summer into fall, because I think dead heat, this may be a little too much because of that cream aspect, but it's not too much for like late summer going into fall. So I'm a big fan of it. It just would have almost been perfect if it could truly maintain that creamsicle. All right, let's move into a fail, shall we? Because I'm not here to tell you guys to try and buy everything. This is Kate Spade Pop. You guys, I think I'm just not a Kate Spade fragrance person. I've tried several. It's often one of those that you see later on at TJ Maxx, and anything that I've smelled in store, like at Ulta, I've never been that crazy about it. But I thought this one might be the one. I mean, number one, I really liked the ombre look of this. Notes on this, I'm actually going to look that up because I can't remember them all. I know there's supposed to be coconut in here. Bear with me, you guys. I know I could cut this out, but I try to keep it as real as possible here on my channel. Okay, so fresh citrus notes, blood orange, jasmine, and coconut, lily of the valley, raspberry, white musk, cedarwood, benzoin. That sounded pretty awesome. Honestly, it sounded pretty complex. I thought I was gonna get at the top this real bright juiciness, tartness, probably from raspberry and the orange. And then I thought, ooh, in that mid, then you're gonna get some floral and coconut, and it'll kind of go into like a tropical vibe. But then having like the benzoin and the woody base, I was like, ooh, that almost takes it more like fall-like. So I thought it'd be complex. This just, it smells cheap. It smells, I really don't like this, you guys. It smells cheap. It smells like it could have been, and you guys know I love Paris Hilton and love her fragrances for what they are. This smells like it could have been a 2006 $15 fragrance. It is just not blended very well. It smells thin. That's the best way I can describe the Kate Spade fragrances that I've smelled, is there's like no weightiness, no substance. It smells almost like they filled it with like alcohol and don't have quality ingredients in it. I would just say it's a big pass. I almost wanted to scrub it off, that type. All right, another one. This is not a complete fail. I've got lots of thoughts about this one. This is the Orabella Eternal Roots. So I really like the... So I really like Nightcap a lot. I really love that fragrance. I love the ginger and vanilla. It has almost this like ginger ale kind of smell to it. I love to wear it to go to bed. If you don't know, Orabella is one that has a high oil concentration. So you're actually supposed to spray and rub. Okay, if you guys can see the oils in there. You're supposed to spray and rub it in. That's a no-no with regular perfume, but this one you're supposed to rub it in. So I like to do the Nightcap, rub it right here, and when my arms are kind of close, I'm going to bed, I'm just like, oh, it smells so good. Love that one. I honestly have not smelled the others. I haven't been as interested in picking them up. But this one, okay, so objectively, I think this is a nice fragrance. It is very masculine. Okay, I don't even think it's unisex. I think this is a masculine fragrance. I have masculine fragrances that I love to wear. Okay, I even have one that I recently got that is so leather forward, and I'm still kind of like, was that right for me? I mean, it is masculine. The Perfumes de Marly one that I got in. This one, though, there is something about it that I just really don't like on myself. And this is a raspberry, woody, kind of earthy smelling fragrance. And when I first sprayed it, I thought, oh, that's masculine, but I like it. But as it dries down, there is something that my nose doesn't like. And I can, again, remove myself and think, this is well done. This is more complex. This is not super mainstream smelling. You know, for her to have a celebrity brand and to be as kind of, it's not avant-garde, but like just more niche, you know, than a lot of other celebrity brands out there. I give her a lot of credit. Like, she takes big swings, I think, with Orabella, with this brand, it being an oil, high oil concentration, it being in the shape of the bottles that it's in, coming up with the stand that you need to put it in. I think all of that is very clever of her to set herself apart and be different. So I give her major credit in this not being that expected. But I just can't wear it, period. And I had my husband try it last night. He put it on. He was like, it's all right. It was pretty good. But then within 5 minutes, he couldn't smell it on himself. Now, I could smell this on me a lot longer, because the other night when I tried to wear it to bed, I was like, I really don't like it. And then I had a huge thunderstorm and it kept me up all night and I could just smell it the whole time. So I don't know why it disappeared in 5 minutes on him, but he said he absolutely could not smell it after 5 minutes. So for all of those reasons, I'm not going to recommend this unless you go in and you try it in store and you're like, I love it. Then I wouldn't blame you for liking it, because I don't think it's done badly. It just doesn't work for me. Okay, that's it. That's it for Eternal Roots. All right, here's another one that I want to recommend so badly, but this is going to be choose your own destiny with this one. This is Phlur Cherry Stem. Notes that they have listed on here: black cherry, orange brandy, red freesia, sugar jasmine, plum nectar, ebony woods, caramel, leather accord. This is a gorgeous fragrance. It is a cherry fragrance that is not entirely unique to my collection, but probably would be to others. There's something I have that smells kind of similar to this that I haven't put the video up for it yet. But it doesn't smell just like a Lost Cherry dupe out there. This is a very kind of sour cherry, dark sour cherry. You do get some of that booziness in it. The leather is smooth. It's not too masculine. And the woods are also not too masculine. This is perfectly unisex, I think. Absolutely perfectly unisex. And this is a compliment getter. I got this in, was excited, basically opened up the package, had to take my son to soccer practice immediately. So I took it with me, sprayed it on in the car. And then when I went out to the practice, I had 3 moms compliment me on how I smelled. And 2 of them took a picture of what I had, because I said, oh, I've got it with me. And at that time I was like, this is so good. And I'm going to recommend it because I'm getting compliments. I'm loving it. But you guys, this is 2 hours tops. And it is like not even a trace, not even like, oh, it turned into like this skin scent. I mean, completely undetectable after 2 hours. Now, a lot of times I say just respray. If we are talking about a cheap Middle Eastern fragrance, if we were talking about a $15 Le Monde Gourmand, but a full size of these I think are $90. It needs to last longer. And it pains me because if this lasted longer, I would say it's a fantastic release. I love their father figure. That one lasts about 4 hours on my skin. And I would say this would be my second favorite of theirs if it lasted. As it stands, I can't urge you to go out and get this. You have to decide if you think it is worth it for that wonderful 2 hours of aroma. That's up to you guys. But for me, I just don't think that it lasts long enough. Big unfortunate, because it is a really, really beautiful fragrance. Okay, moving on here. Let's go with Vanilla Salt by Ellis Brooklyn. One reason why I wanted to get this, I had a feeling I did not need it, and I did not actually, but I wanted to get it because I did start getting Ellis Brooklyn in PR. I'd always purchased Ellis Brooklyn myself, and I don't really see very many people review Ellis Brooklyn that don't get it in PR. And I thought, I don't want to stop purchasing just because I didn't get something in PR. So I bought this myself, is what I'm trying to say. And I do like it a lot, but I already had it. This smells identical pretty much to Vanilla Vibes by Juliet Has a Gun. Now, if you don't have that fragrance or anything like it, I say this is fantastic. It is a salty, kind of tropical smelling vanilla. Nothing more, nothing less. It has like a solar aspect to it. It also smells like one of my Guerlain fragrances. I have quite a few in this category because I do love a salty, beachy vanilla, but it was very repetitive for my collection. If you don't have anything like it, I do recommend it. And I know that this layers so well with others because my Vanilla Vibes layers so well with others. I think it will layer great with Guava Granita if you want to bring a little bit more vanilla saltiness to that. If you layered it with the Queen's Caramel, you've got a salty caramel fragrance. Gosh, I cannot remember what it was I was wearing, you guys, whenever I layered this the other day. I've been testing out so much, but whatever it was, I thought, well, those layer well together too. So it was fantastic. It's fantastic. I just didn't need it. And if you have anything like it, you probably don't need it either. If you don't have anything like it, I recommend it. Okay, is this my, no, I've got two more here. Yes. Okay, let's go with My Devotion. So my thoughts are not all over the place with this one, but I go from thinking, oh, when I first spray this, I think this is a worse, I was about to say it's a worser. English major over here, not a worser. It is just a lesser version of Devotion, I thought. I thought it smelled sharp. I wasn't a huge fan of how the pear is done in this at first. And at first spray, I thought, oh, it does smell quite a bit different. And I've seen people say that they really don't like this fragrance. And I've seen them say that it has absolutely nothing in common with the original. It doesn't smell even remotely, not even close, not even a trace. And I'm like, did you let it sit on your skin? Because as this sits on the skin, I'd say after about 30 minutes to an hour, it smells very similar to Devotion. Not necessarily in the beginning. I still get a hint of it in the beginning for sure, but it does smell like a totally different flanker. But after 30 minutes to an hour, it's so close, but not as good in my opinion. So I feel like it was a little unnecessary for my collection. I enjoy it. Like as it was on, I thought, oh, this, I mean, yeah, this smells good. I mean, I love the original. So, but it just wasn't different enough or improved upon enough for me to think that it's necessary. So I like it. I just don't think I would need a full size personally. And I still think the OG is better. So my advice to you, if you don't have Devotion, see which of the two that you like better. If you don't like either one, then you don't. If you like this one better, great. If you like the other one better. But if you already have the original, I don't think you need this. That's my final thought. All right, lastly, we have Perfect Marc Jacobs. I have been really, really loving Marc Jacobs lately. I had OG Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs. It's either Marc by Marc Jacobs or Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs. It was a fragrance I wore in college, and I loved that one. And then I kind of fell off the Marc Jacobs for a while because I really disliked Daisy. I like some of the flankers a lot, like Wild, Oh So Fresh, and I did not like the dots. So I fell off. Now I have fallen in love with one of the Perfects, and then Perfect Absolute. I really, really like this fragrance. This is supposed to be a fig fragrance, so I was really excited. I love fig, and fig can go a couple of different ways. It can be really, really green, like almost just like fig stem, very, very green and almost woody. Or it can be a little bit sweeter and fruity. And then this is the first time I smelled it this way, where this is a jammy fig. And I don't see plum listed anywhere, but this has almost a plumminess to it. It smells like maybe the figs were made into a jam, just kind of caramelized, and there's like a little bit of stickiness to it, but I wouldn't say it's overly sweet. Like there's a little bit of tartness, like plum would have a tartness to it. And it's fairly linear. I mean, it's not very, very complex, but I really love this. I don't have anything exactly like it in my collection, so I probably will get a bottle of this. And the full-size bottle is so pretty. The only thing that I don't like, and they know what they're doing, the 30 ml isn't as cute. It's like they didn't know how to accessorize. Like they're the kind of like basic of the bottles, and then the 50 ml and 100 ml, which are of course more expensive, put on all the accessories and look really, really cute. So I'll probably end up getting one of the bigger bottles because I think it's so pretty, but I really like Absolute. I think it's a great fall fragrance. I do think it's one that might behoove it to have something layered with it just to give it a little bit more depth, something a little bit more woody, maybe even something vanilla-y in it. But I really, really enjoy it. If you like a really jammy, kind of tart, tangy, sour fruits fragrance, I think that you will really, really like it. That's it, you guys. Those are the 8 new fragrances that I have tried, and there's already more coming out and out as we speak. It's hard to keep up these days, but you guys let me know which of these you tried. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're going to pick some of them up. I thank you so much for watching, and as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.